Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Today's video is unbelievably stacked with content. On one hand we have Rangers versus Aberdeen preview to break down, and on the other hand we have transfer deadline day madness, ins, out, shake them all boots. We will be discussing it all if the transfers are announced whilst I'm recording today's video or whilst I'm editing an already pre-made video. So in a weird way there could be a video within a video, which is basically Inception, bit crap, and with me instead of Leo. The strangest intro of all time to one side. A quick little shout out to the channel sponsors and the channel legends themselves, One Football, whose link will be down there in the description below. But as there is so much to break down and discuss in today's video, let's actually start with the Rangers versus Aberdeen game then, shall we? Because some people are actually forgetting we play Aberdeen tomorrow, and it's usually feisty. And as always, starting off with the oppositional preview, Aberdeen are actually coming into this game of football playing eerily similar to the way they were before they met for the first time this season. Now obviously when they did meet for the first time this season at Ibrox, it was absolutely vicious on the Rangers front, where they spanked Aberdeen rotten, put 5 past them, but it could have been 6, it could have been 7, it could have been 8, which I wouldn't mind seeing again tomorrow, if I'm being honest. Just putting it out there. But our perspective to one side, in that very first preview video of the season, we talked about how hit and miss Aberdeen actually were and how inconsistent they were being on a game-to-game basis. They were having a fantastic result, dropping points. Fantastic result, dropping points. Well, we're rolling round to the second game of the season at Ibrox versus Aberdeen, and it's still happening for Derek's men. Honestly, it's just been such a weird season for Aberdeen, and that's why Derek McInnes is getting so much flack from the Aberdeen fans, because every single time you think, right, the pennies drop, that's them back to normal, they're going to get a stranglehold on third place and roll on from there. They end up dropping points the next game week and losing silly, silly goals to teams they shouldn't be getting beat by. The games and matchups that they've had locked up in previous seasons just hasn't been going all their way. A perfect example of this is most recently, since coming back from the winter break, they had a massive showdown versus Motherwell, which is the sort of battle right now for third place. And at Pittodrie, Motherwell went there and came away with a 1-0 win, where Aberdeen offered pretty much none. That game right there, especially at home, is just a game Aberdeen haven't been losing over the last couple of seasons, but this season it just seems to be a flip of a coin. Now, despite saying that and how consistent they are at being inconsistent this season, they still find themselves in 4th spot in the Scottish game. They are still a good side. They still have very dangerous individual players that can, when they can be arsed and when they are properly motivated, turn the tide in a game. The perfect example of that is unfortunately the most recent meeting between Rangers and Aberdeen up at Pittodrie. They were getting played absolutely off the park, 2-0 down. It looked like another underperforming Aberdeen side so far this season. The boos were around the stadium, but the big players just decided to turn up, and they took advantage of Rangers taking the foot off the gas just a little bit. They grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, they turned it into a physical battle, and they dragged themselves back in, going from a 2-0 clear loss to a 2-2 battle and draw. And that leads me perfectly to my next talking point, because I know there's a lot of people out there poking holes at this Aberdeen side, pointing at individual performances and results so far this season, saying, look at this, they got beat off them, they drew 0-0 with them, they're no good, they're no good, they're no good. This is Aberdeen under Derek McInnes. You know for a fact that they will be raring to go and they'll be motivated more than they've been all season long. It's a different atmosphere when it's Rangers versus Aberdeen, and despite losing the first game badly at Ibrox, you know for a fact they will be licking their lips seeing how we're playing so far and saying, hey, we've got a chance. And if I'm honest, that's pretty much me done and dusted with this Aberdeen preview. Stats, form, win and run, statistics, league positions get flung completely out the window, because when it's Rangers versus Aberdeen, Aberdeen are a completely different side. We know exactly what they are going to be bringing to this game tomorrow. It is up to Rangers to match that physicality, break down their stubborn defence and raise their game to spoil Aberdeen's cup final. And with all that being said, it's time to flip over and talk about what matters most, and that is of course Rangers. And as always, let's start off with the official Rangers press conference then, shall we? And I've got to be honest, right, it was a 13-minute preview video where the first question about Rangers versus Aberdeen was asked 9 minutes and 57 seconds in to a 13-minute Rangers versus Aberdeen preview video. What? Now, despite being very light on content, there was a very good line I think you guys would be very interested in, and it came from the newest signing himself, Mr. Hagi, and this is what he said he will bring to Rangers Football Club. I'm just a guy that creates on the field. This is my job. This is the job of a number 10. I'll create, and obviously goals and assists is something obvious from that position. And that right there is exactly what I wanted to hear. We finally have our number 10, and he's coming. Today's job. Moving away from the press conference and diving into the latest team news, we have the fantastic news that dropped last night that Barisic has signed on the dotted line. All those interests from Roma and your Napolis and stuff like that have been silenced because BB is happy here and he sees it as his family. The good news just keeps on coming because Tavernier is back in the 18 for tomorrow's game. Now, Gerrard has said because of the operation and stuff like that, he's not quite ready to start. But the fact that this man is already a part of the 18 less than 2 weeks after having surgery shows that he genuinely is Iron Man. We also had the fantastic news that Morelos is listed at 100% ahead of the game tomorrow versus Aberdeen, because there was fears because the fact that they were nursing him because of the calf injury at Ross County. He came through it with flying colours, he's not had the pain since, and he's ready to be unleashed versus the Sheep. And that perfectly translates into my next bit of good news, which is actually the last bit of good news regarding the team news, unfortunately. But it is that Greg Stewart is 100% fit as well. He's overcome his issue and he's ready to go if selected tomorrow. Now, we do have a bit of bad news, but it was bad news we were all expecting to come, and it's the fact that Jermaine Defoe has been ruled out for at least 4 weeks. That could possibly rise up to 6 weeks. However, Gerrard said he is targeting the 4-week mark because that leads perfectly into the international break. That is a bitter, bitter blow for us and the man Jermaine Defoe as well. And the last bit of team news regarding the injuries is obviously Hollander, who is out of the protective boot, but he's still about 3 or 4 weeks away before we see the big man back at Rangers. But with the team news now done, the preview recapped and the press conference discussed, we are officially done and dusted with today's video. All that's left is for me and thee to get the prediction down there, down in the comment section below. So now you know a little bit more about the fixture. What are you thinking about tomorrow? While you guys are hopefully letting me know your opinion, I'll give you mine very, very briefly. I'm expecting a battle. I'm expecting a grey hair Turner, but I'm expecting a Rangers home win by the scoreline of 3-1. My goal scorers are going to be Morelos with a dirty double and Ryan Kent to step up and rattle one. And now that me and thee have had their say, let's jump over to Twitter then and hear from the people. There's actually been 2,101 votes. Thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for the draw, 3% votes for an Aberdeen win, but we're back up to the 90s after the last little poll shake. We are up to 94% of the vote voting for a Rangers home win. So let's see, very, very briefly, what they've had to say. Barney Stinson writes in 3-1 to the famous. Kent, Katic and Alfie with the goals. New lad might make it 4-1 if he gets a run out. Come on, the Gers. Pistol 7892 writes in another 5-0. Buff, dirty double and a Hagi hat-trick. Come on, the Gers. That's still so weird to say, by the way, but I love it. Callum Stewart writes in 3-0, Morelos ×2, and Scotty Arfield with the other. Thomas Lee writes in 2-0, Alfredo and Hagi. Stuart Ward writes in 3-1 again with Katic, Morelos and Hagi on the score sheet. Colin and Michelle 97 writes in a must win regardless of how it's won. Andrew Bluebell writes in, think the new signings will give everyone a lift, and knowing their places are up for grabs will give them the incentive to get tore into Aberdeen right from the start. I fancy a 3-0 win, CJ. I fancy it. Now, simply because the video is going to be so long because we're starting to discuss the transfer news, I'm just going to read out a couple more very, very briefly because I appreciate you guys always getting involved and writing in your tweets. Robert writes in 3-0 with Aribo, Davis and Morelos to score. He also writes in, I am also happy I made the poll. Well, you made the video as well, mate. And the last one comes in from Mike.g, a channel legend, and he writes in 3-1 to CJ. Hagi to get a half and score, that would be a great debut. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, for the Aberdeen Rangers preview part. We are now officially done. Now, it's time to dive over and break down this madness. So to the transfers then, and the biggest one and the main one that's pretty much done and dusted and should be announced before the midnight deadline day, unless Hibs just be dicks. Now, just in case you haven't heard the story and you don't know what's going on, Rangers have inquired about getting Kamberi out on loan. Hibs have agreed to the deal, however they are holding out because they want to try and get a replacement in the door before they sign away and give away basically their only other striker that's at the football club. However, I think this deal will go ahead because of a certain player going in the opposite direction, which we'll break down in the next couple of minutes, who's already been caught filming with Hibs TV. So I think it's safe to say that Kamberi should be a Rangers player before the window closes. And I've got to be honest, I'm very interested to see what the reaction is going to be down in the comments section below. What do you think about Kamberi joining Rangers? Is this the right move from Rangers Football Club? Me personally, I'm going to be honest, if you've seen the SPFL show, you already know the answer. I actually do think this is a very, very good bit of business from Rangers. He's 24 years old, he's skillful, and he likes to have a shot from range. He's got that bit of attitude, he's got the bit of the swagger as well. I think he could be a very, very good and handy player for us to have, especially with the amount of games we've got to play this season. So I'm all behind this transfer. What about you? The next player coming into the football club that I've been getting asked a hell of a lot of questions about was Vidra. At least that's how I'm pronouncing his name. Sorry if it isn't. It is obviously the striker that was meant to be coming on loan from Burnley. As I'm sitting recording today's video, that deal is officially dead and buried because Burnley were not willing to move away because of the injuries to Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. They weren't willing to give away the lad because they've simply not got a replacement. And last but not least of possible incomings for the football clubs is actually Dykes, the centre forward from Livingston, who, again, if you watch the SPFL show, you know I rate quite a lot, and rightly so. I mean, he's involved in nearly every single goal that Livingston has scored this season. He's got a great goal-to-game ratio. He can score in the big goals. He's already showed that with his performance versus Celtic and against us a couple of times, despite being sent off. He was a threat, and he battled with Katic all damn day, and he bullied Julian twice. There has been rumblings that Rangers are in for the laddie, and the fact that Livingston have recalled their striker Dolly Menga to come back to the football club early from loan certainly suggests that they may, just may, be losing Dykes this window. But despite me actually wanting this to happen, because I think he is the extra factor and that little bit different, because we play a certain way and when it isn't working we seem to just stutter and fall. You throw that big laddie on there and there's limbs everywhere and he's going to get amongst it and at the box, and he might just win one of these crosses we just fire to the back post constantly when no one's there. Despite me actually wanting him to join the football club, I didn't see it happening, unfortunately. And that's it for incomings. There won't be any other positions covered in today's video because Gerrard confirmed that it's just a striker that will be coming into the football club. So it's going to be Kamberi or Dykes by the looks of it when I'm currently recording today's video. Flipping over to the transfer out section, we have a wee bit interesting news. There's a wee nibble about Glenn Middleton leaving out on loan, which would obviously be best for his development, and I think that's what he needs, consistent football at a certain level. Over to Jordan Jones, there's been a hell of a lot of clickbait to suggest that he is on his way to Middlesbrough. However, Gerrard himself did say, really? I've heard nothing about that, which was absolutely hilarious, but it did go on to say the fact that Jordan Jones trained very hard and he's in contention for the game tomorrow versus Aberdeen, so that may just tell you he's not gone anywhere. And last but not least, we have one transfer that should definitely be confirmed pretty much by the time you are watching today's video, and that's going to be Greg Docherty to Hibs on a 6-month loan. And thankfully, with all that being said, I'm officially done and dusted with today's video. Sorry if it is a bit muddled and all over the place. I just didn't want to let you guys down, and I tried to give you as much content as possible because there is so much going on. But as always, I've been Siege92. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and bye.